sleep designer sheets now. 30 different missions, when I speak they listen. Couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true, cause you look like the opposition. Run it up, greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she love to call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a boss it. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and our home team. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. Seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Mark 52, Hassan, hey! 52's the mic, boy.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 14th touchdown now of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here come the Chargers as they get set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack to make plays in the backfield.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And we get a quick look at the Chargers starting offense.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey is one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
The third down pass intended for Mike Williams. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is brought in at the 21. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And you can see where they sit, perched right at the top. The question, Charles, with the perfect season they have going, what's on the line, how do you see them playing it out these final few weeks of the season?
Well, I can see the locker room voting unanimously to play to win. That's how they're built. It doesn't matter whether you're 0 whatever or undefeated. You want to play every game to win it. But I think from a management and coaching standpoint, you're looking at it and saying how much pressure is on this team to try and keep that record going. And is that really our ultimate goal? They're almost hoping maybe.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Great job, man. Keep getting those
Marquise
touchdowns.
Brown with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Tucker now for the extra point.
For the extra point.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here. First quarter lead.
Ravens 14.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out of that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Three down.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that, though. Here's second and 10 now from the 35. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay on the run as we just saw there.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Patrick Owasor in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A beautiful fake. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, We often talk about defenses, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
It's going to be a long day.
On second down, it's Edwards. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's Brown. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
4 down.
2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Watch left. He's tight right there. 4 down.
They'll look to throw, and that will be incomplete. He really tried to thread that down the seam.
Yeah, he tried to rip that one, didn't he? But a throw with that velocity, necessary when you're trying to hit a quick hitter like that one. Timing execution has to be perfect. Unfortunately for him, that one fell to the ground.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for L.A. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be fielded at the 17. And he will finally go out of bounds just shy of the 40. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now here come the Ravens. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
From the 39, Jackson flushed out right. He'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Edwards. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. 21-0 our score after 1. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
22, Jet Bomber. 22, Jet Bomber.
From the 22, Jackson. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up,
and he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Makes the score Ravens 28.
So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. Powers through it.
The Chargers take over.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 18-yard line.
Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have the playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So that one a hold, still right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm willing to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And some room to roam now. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
They'll go back to Edwards on first down. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's go, tackle, let's go. We got this, we got this.
31's the mic. At the 17-yard line.
From the 17, Jackson. His throw caught right around the 6. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Edwards. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Right stone, travel.
49's the mic, 49's the mic.
They'll look to run with Edwards. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and it's 3rd and short. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
28-yard line.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where you see the final score there. 31-10 was the final score. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting Buccaneers as that game has gone to halftime. Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Andrew Luck leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front. As we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Set high.
They run it with Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Watch that, watch that, watch that. Hunt, 64, weak.
On 2nd and very short, Jackson. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now a run with Edwards. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Go!
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
To about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field right through that one. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How did they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think I'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's a quick throw caught by Allen. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Here we go. Here we go. Takes the outlaw.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that tight D. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Set. Hut. Watch 49.
You better be afraid of me.
Delta.
You better be afraid of me.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Jackson from the shotgun. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this.
Come on, set. 10, touchdown. 49. Who there? Who there? Slam, slam, slam. Rotate, spell.
On 1st down, it's Edwards. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll keep it on the ground. Edwards. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Chargers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Army.
A first throw for the backup, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
On the double. 49's a Mike. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Shady weapon. Let it go.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards that time to push him up. 1st and goal. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. One man in the backfield. That's Ingram on 2nd and goal.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Check.
He'll get it up the middle. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. We always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Strong left, strong left, strong left.
Looking to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
the field. Here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target, but it'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And it's taken in at the 9. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it. All those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. And just shutting him off there. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big effort that time out of Ingram. 57 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Let's go. Check. Crunch. 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 Topper. 49's the mic. You better bring it. You better bring it.
They'll run here with Ingram, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey, boys, we got 4. 4 up.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. He's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
First down.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at their own 43. Back to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole... And never forget. You don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
But we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. There's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taken in at the 22. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And And that's a touchdown late in this affair. And the punt return for the touchdown. It's always such an electric play. It energizes everybody, even us here in the booth.
It really does, and just think about the great punt returners that we've seen in our lifetime. The Deion Sanders of the world, who can change a game so quickly with one return, but who could ever forget? My man, Dante Hall, the human joystick.
Now a two-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Able to get this to Gordon. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was that they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them. about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Yeah.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. So when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euro, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Raps every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull off. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down. Hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, Be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
All on my wrist, AOB, just all off of getting money since I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent my 10 on my 50. Ex slick, then he with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed it, blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it.
my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy, and tell the whole damn world it's Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy, and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah.
You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, no. I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Yeah, call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah.
You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, no. I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Yeah, I pin so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole
watching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it slow. I'm sturdy as hell, it's a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicki know what I'm about. I'm not the stereotypes. They do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Wings of the team, I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking. Just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together. Leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart. I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart. No, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Clippity. Yeah. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they door, they taking notice. Determination, laser focus. Banging on they door, they taking notice.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Dino. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Smells like the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. For the genie with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by they self.
That's why you treat women good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way. Cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this round here, I make a joke. Everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. 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 I'ma get it by myself, yeah.